Good evening, and welcome to On Point. This is your servant and Senator, Carla Joseph, welcoming you to another segment of my radio talk show, On Point, heard every other Tuesday from 6 to 6:30 p.m. right here on WSTA 1340 AM, the People's Station. I really want to thank you for joining me. And of course, On Point is aimed to bring you up to date on my work, share information on matters of concern, and highlight the work of people and organizations within our community. Before we begin tonight's show, I would like to take this opportunity to wish my uncle Wayne Industrious a happy birthday today, and also to wish my eldest brother, Carl Joseph, I call him the Big C, happy birthday in advance. He will be making birthday on Thursday, October 5th. I also want to take this opportunity to say hello and to ask you to be very courteous to welcome my guest this evening, who is Attorney Casey Payton of the VI Justice Initiative. Welcome, Attorney Payton, to On Point.
Good evening, and thank you so much, Senator, for inviting me.
Ms. Payton will share with us the important work of the VI Justice Initiative, the services it provides, and about an upcoming event that we want all our Virgin Islanders to attend and support. But first, there are a few observances that I would like to acknowledge this evening. The month of October is National Domestic Violence Awareness Month and National Bullying Prevention Month. Domestic violence and bullying is something that happens to both children and adults in our community. As parents, family, friends, and even co-workers, teachers, if you notice any change in persons close to you or their behavior, their physical appearance, or socially withdrawn, reach out and have a conversation. Also, you should direct the person to someone they can talk to confidentially. Now, who are these type of people you can talk to confidentially, you may ask? I will tell you, they are counselors at the school or in the private sector, clergy people. That means your pastors are excellent source of talking to and being confidential. You could also reach out to the Department of Human Services. There's social workers there, nonprofit organizations, like I'm sure the VI Justice Initiative is one. And also, the Family Resource Center. Bullying and domestic violence affect the well-being of individuals in so many ways. Let us work to help the vulnerable in our community. No one should suffer any type of abuse. Let us look out for one another as a village in unity and love for one another's well-being. I want to really talk about this issue with abuse because some people just think it's just people, but we have an issue with the Taxi Cab Commission and their unresponsiveness to us as legislators, and more importantly to their clients who they serve. We have heard the lengths taxi men and women have to go to receive services there, even those from St. John. Sometimes they leave their busy schedule, they go down there, the place is closed, they can't pay any fees. That, to me, is a level of abuse. But anyhow, today, October 3rd, begins Mental Awareness Week. Mental health is also about well-being. Here in the Virgin Islands, as well as across our nation, we recognize NAMI, the National Association of Mental Health. NAMI provides mental health education and mental illness support. Support is also available through our Department of Health. October is also National Arts and Humanities Month. If you didn't know, let me just let you know, I am a humanities major. That's why I got my undergraduate degree. So I love arts, anything artsy, because it helps inspire people. So Arts and Humanities Month celebrates the importance of culture in our society. Arts include visual arts, including architecture, ceramics, drawing, filmmaking, painting, photography, and sculpture. Also, literary arts, including fiction, drama. One of my favorite is poetry and prose. I love that. And performing arts, including dance, music, and theater. Arts enrich our lives every day. Take time to enjoy the arts in our community. Visit one of our local museum or art gallery with your family, especially, and I have to stress this, especially with your children. Share stories, enjoy our culture, music, watch a performance, do something creative, or donate or support arts in our school. I support arts. Every year during Black History and VI History Month, I sponsor an art contest open to our middle school students to encourage, inspire, and award our students for their creativity. The art contest encourages artistic expression, and students are required to share a story of the artwork they develop. This year, the 175th Emancipation Celebration on St. Croix showcased a wide range of arts and storytelling, music, and dance. I also want to note that my winner for our art contest was Miss Ava Daniel. She was at that time an 8th grader attending the Bertha C. Bushelta Middle School. She was promoted to the 9th grade in the last school year. I was right there cheering her on at that promotion. I was so proud. I don't know if her parents was as proud as I am or was, but I was definitely bursting my chest. And finally, Thursday, October 5th is World Teacher Day. Well, hooray for all of our teachers. None of us would be here if we didn't have good and, more importantly, exceptional teachers. It commemorates the anniversary of the adoption of the 1966 International Labor Organization, United Nations Educational, Scientific, and Cultural Organization, UNESCO, recommendation concerning the status of teachers. It sets benchmarks regarding the rights and responsibilities of teachers and standards. This is key, standards for their initial preparation and further education, recruitment, employment, and teaching and learning conditions, not locally or nationally, but globally. These standards are very important. You always hear me on the floor asking about standards, operating procedures, because that's the benchmark. That's where you start at. Teachers are essential across the nation, including in our Virgin Islands. There is a great need for teachers. By the way, I just saw today at the investiture ceremony for Judge Carol Thomas Jacobs, one of my favorite teachers, Mr. Howell. He was there. He was my social studies teacher at Ivana Eudorican High School. He played such a critical role in just turning me into the person I am and encouraging, and also providing those opportunities for us to realize whence we came. So I really have to say hats off to him in particular, just because I saw him today, but to all of the teachers who are part of my life, our young people life, and even our leaders' life. Let us celebrate our teachers, and most importantly, let us support them in the classroom. That's why we need to get into the classrooms and have time so that we could be a part of that greater community that we should be, that greater community. Well, tonight, Miss Casey Payton is here with us from the VI Justice Initiative. Welcome once again to On Point. When we think of justice, our minds can go in many different directions because justice, lawfulness, and fairness is required in every facet of life. Currently, I have a bill request to establish the Restorative Justice Act in the Virgin Islands, another regarding the source of income discrimination, and another bill request to fund the Civil Rights Commission under the Virgin Islands Department of Justice. Certainly, I will speak about these proposed legislation that I have put forth in the future. Now to you, Attorney Payton. Tell our audience about the VI Justice Initiative.
Thank you once again, Senator, for inviting me today. My name is Casey Payton. I'm the Executive Director of the VI Justice Initiative. We were formed last year. In fact, our certificate of formation with the governor was on June 14th, 2022, and then we opened our doors on September 1st, 2022. And so we are brand new. We are a nonprofit 501c3 organization and law firm providing free legal representation in the Virgin Islands.
Free legal representation? So what does your clientele look like?
So currently what we are focusing on is we're focusing on expungements. This is a piece of This is a piece that no other agency or organization in the Virgin Islands has taken on. I previously worked for the local territorial public defender and legal services of the Virgin Islands. And I was shocked that there's nowhere in the Virgin Islands to get free expungements. And so as far as it goes with attorneys, it's not a whole lot of work, but it is very expensive if you're going to hire an attorney to do it. So we decided, let's take that on as our first initiative.
Oh, that is great. I used to work with a lot of young people who were wayward and they were touched by the judicial system, and some of them were convicted. But you know what? We were able to transform their lives, and they are contributing citizens today. They have not, and this is 10 years and sometimes 12 years, and they never recommitted. But this expungement is so important because it can prevent them from getting housing. It can prevent them from getting employment, especially if they have really transformed and turned themselves around. This is a way to give them a second chance so they don't have any of these issues hanging around over their shoulder. You know, I'm a Christian. So all have sinned and fallen short, and sometimes we need to give people a second chance. So I really appreciate the work that you're doing. I know I've had students, and we worked on it. Their records was expunged. So, and I checked because I went to the police department to get their information, their police record, and it was gone. And I was like, what a wonderful thing. And so that cloud is no longer over that young person, especially if they did something when they were 18. Oh, and now they're what? 28. They have matured, they have grown, they have realized their mistake, and they want to be able to move forward. So that's great. So tell us about the expertise available and the importance of your services.
So we have a wide range of expertise, and that's because our board and our special advisors have their own expertise. And so when we decided to form, it took us about a year to decide what we were going to do, to build our business plan. We knew we wanted to be intentional, and we wanted the best team available. And so our board and special advisors, it's multi-generational. We have young lawyers, we have seniors, we have folks who are about to retire, and everybody has experience in their own ways. And so we have some really tough plaintiffs attorneys who can do some really difficult types of torts and things like that. We have some amazing criminal defense attorneys. We have young lawyers. And then we have folks that just have a lot of experience when it comes to drafting things for the legislature, who help us if we get invited to testify in front of the legislature. We've done that. And then we also have a pro bono, a volunteer data scientist who has helped us begin our data collection. We also have a very wonderful retired legal secretary who is just helping us scale our services, especially our direct services when it comes to expungements.
Oh, that's terrific. So how are you funded?
We are independently funded. And so what makes us different from any other free legal service provider in the Virgin Islands is that we do not rely on federal funding or local government funding. We actually do our own fundraisers. We seek out grants. And this past year, we were actually able to raise over $150,000 in our first year. Now, that's not enough for us to run 100% of our operations moving forward. It's a constant struggle, constantly chasing the cheese. But the thing is it's important for us. We're very intentional. We want to make sure that we can stand on our own 2 feet before we then rely on some government funding that may or may not be consistent. We want to make sure that we're here for the long haul. We're not just a blip. We want to be a partner in this community for a long time.
Are your attorneys barred to actually litigate here in the Virgin Islands?
Absolutely. Every member of our board and our special advisors are all Virgin Islands attorneys barred and licensed to practice here in the Virgin Islands.
So tell us, how can persons who are interested in this organization and seeking services, how can they get in contact with you?
You can call our number. It is 340-774-6504. That is to our office in St. Thomas. We do represent clients in St. Thomas, St. John, and St. Croix. You can also go to our website, vijustice.org, or you could send us an email at info@vijustice.org. We are currently focusing on expungement, so if you think that you may qualify under the law of the Virgin Islands, under the second chance law for an expungement, call our attorneys, 340-774-6504. We'll let you know, for the most part, within just about 15 minutes or so, whether you're likely eligible for us to represent you for free.
Okay, that's fantastic. I'm hoping that you get a lot more clients knocking down your door so they can really work on getting their cases expunged from their record and their conviction expunged from their record. Okay, I noted that the VI Justice Initiative hosts a few events annually. Early in the year, there was the Virgin Islands Sandcastle Festival. I think you did some nice face painting there and the like. Briefly tell us about that festival.
So something that's so important for our organization is that when we do a community event, these are actually benefits for our organization. These are our fundraisers. You wouldn't notice, but they are. But what we try to do is we try to make it so Virgin Islanders who are have families with young children, they're at the center of everything that we do. We want this to be something that you feel comfortable sending, the dad with the kids to the event on the weekend. This is going to be a safe, family-friendly event. Whenever we have music, I ask them to keep the music down a little bit. It's for kids. It's not for, a super hype crowd. But the Sandcastle Festival was fun. We actually flew in Guinness World Record holders to create a tribute to the Virgin Islands. And so they did a 6-foot tall by 10-foot wide and 8-foot deep sandcastle sculpture.
Wow. Which beach was this?
This was at Brewers.
Wow.
We felt that Brewers was going to be a beach that folks would feel comfortable coming to.
It's a big beach. It has a lot of sand.
It turns out that the sand at Brewers is ideal for professional sculptors.
Wow, we should probably have some tourism attraction surrounding that and have our young people compete maybe with some other young people from St. Croix or the BVI in that fundraiser, because I'm sure they would want to come over and do some competition, especially knowing that we have such good sand that is conducive for building sandcastle. Imagine that. Did you have any person train the young person or the people trained to actually build the sandcastles?
Absolutely, and I know you're interested in the arts, and what we did was we reached out to our art community, and what we did is that the sandcastle sculptors, they did a training workshop before the contest began. And so it was a hands-on workshop to show exactly how to work with the sand in the Virgin Islands in order to have some exquisite results. And so we had 14 teams compete, including some very well-known artists down here in the Virgin Islands.
Oh my goodness, I would have loved to see a lot of those pictures. I always, even though I'm a humanities major, trust me, I'm not really good at painting or anything, but I do find great inspiration from painting. It just sometimes just pick me up when I'm in my doldrums. And speaking of doldrum, just to digress a bit, sad news, I want to also send my condolences out to the family and loved ones of one of our colleagues, the former Senator Alicia Chucky Hansen. She passed away. She was a great inspiration. She fought. She would have been right here fighting for this cause to get expungement for our persons who have conviction on their record. She always was fighting for the little man. That's what she used to say. I'm fighting for the little man, the little people. I had the occasion to really draw close to her this year. We would communicate and the like. So I'm deeply bereaved, as I know our entire community is, but we want to still give thanks for her. Thanks for all that she did in this season and time for our people. Definitely, I want to just pause for a moment in silence in memory of former Senator Alicia Chucky Hansen. Okay, so let's get back with our discussion about the VI Justice Initiative. You know, I remember in the States, they said if there is no justice, you're not going to have any peace. And I think what you and your organization is doing really with the expungement is applaudable, because you're giving that person a second chance. That shroud of conviction wouldn't be on their record for them to be employed, and for their families, to be able to now go forward and live a life that is respectable. I also want to ask you about your August. You had another event in August. Tell us a little bit about that, because you seem to be having a lot of planned events.
Absolutely, and that's a little bit of what our organization's background is in. We enjoy community events, and so we put them on and celebrate our young people. This one was the Picture VI Justice Art Contest. And so this was a youth art contest, and submissions were due August 4th. And we were asking young people to think about all of the different kinds of people who live in the Virgin Islands, imagine what justice could look like, and to draw a picture of what justice could look like. And we actually got a bunch of submissions for our elementary, middle school, and high school categories. And we had an art exhibit at 81C just this past Friday, September 29th at 5:30 p.m., where we announced the winners who received trophies and cash prizes. I would like to share their names.
I was sitting on Payton. Anita, I was going to ask you, of course, share their names so everybody could know.
So our elementary winner was Deja Rensford. Our junior high winner was your Ava Daniel.
Ah, that's my young person.
And our high school winner was Malachi McCants.
Oh my goodness, I am not surprised Ava Daniel won. That young lady is highly talented. She is going to go far places. She's very committed as an artist. So congratulations to all three winners. Wow, that is fantastic. I didn't even know that oh, wonderful. I have to reach out to her and congratulate her as well. Okay, so tell us about this event that I think is coming up this month.
We have an event in 2 weeks. This is our major fundraiser.
Major!
But you wouldn't know it's a fundraiser. When you come out, you're just going to think it's a good time. This is our second annual Harvest Festival and Pumpkin Patch at Megan's Bay on Saturday, October 14th, from 12 o'clock until 5 o'clock p.m.
Wow. So tell us, do they have to pay admission? What do they have to do to get in, and how do they get to participate in the second annual Harvest Festival and Pumpkin Patch event? And
so the cost of admissions to Megan's Bay is all you pay, because I can't do anything about that, to be honest. But when it comes, after you get into Megan's, you come towards Shed 4. We're actually located in the campground area. So Shed 4 is the check-in. That is the beginning. That is where our tractor hay rides will start and end. And then we have a pumpkin patch.
Okay, so is there a cost for persons to participating in the hayride and the pumpkin patch or anything?
So the cost for the tractor hayride is $5. That's the cost it was last year. It made sense. Now, if you have a young person who's age 10 and under, they must ride with an adult. We want this to be safe. We have custom builders who are providing in-kind donation to build out the tractor hayride.
I am familiar with that construction company.
And there's going to be 2 this year. Last year we had 1. This year we're having 2. That way you're hopefully not waiting. While you are waiting, you'll be under Shed 4, so you'll be in the shade. And we have permission from Megan's Bay Authority to go have the route go through the Arboretum, as long as it fits. We have to do a test run this week, but as long as it fits, our tractor hay rides will go through the Arboretum.
So this is a family-oriented event, and people like to say they don't have anything here for young children to do. Okay, just save up a couple dollars, several dollars, and take your young people out to the second annual Harvest Festival and Pumpkin Patch event on October 14th, beginning at 12 p.m. to 5 p.m. Let them have some fun, especially if they've been working hard in school. Let them get out and enjoy the outdoors. That's something that we don't have our young people doing a lot of. And then I'm sure that you're going to have some information there about the VI Justice Initiative there as well, Attorney Payton, correct?
Absolutely. And we have a lot of our community partners who are there. We have confirmed 41 vendor booths. So that's a combination between adult and youth vendors selling snacks, selling retail. We have the Department of Labor. We have different business vendors, including Paradise Chiropractic, who is one of our big sponsors. We have a lot of nonprofits who are going to be there. Come out and support and check out what services they have available. Dr. Gigi Keynes is going to be providing free dental screenings.
Wow. Wow, you have a whole array of partners there. Free dental screening, that's exceptional.
Absolutely. There's a lot of people who believe in the mission of the work that we do, and we like to have a community fair. So it's a one-stop shop. We don't have a whole lot of community fairs right now going on in the Virgin Islands. So come on out and see what's available. And you can get your pumpkin, you can paint it, you can carve it.
Again, if you want to contact the VI Justice Initiative, you've heard a lot here, contact them at 340-774-6504 or vijustice.org. You can go on that website. Okay, we are almost out of time, actually. And so is there anything else you would like to add, Attorney Payton?
No, I just thank you so much, and I hope you'll invite us back again.
I definitely will, because I have to get a report on how this annual Harvest Festival and Pumpkin Patch went and how many young people, and hopefully we'll be able to get some pictures to see the community engaged in this fundraising event. So I want to thank you so much for joining me this evening, and of course inviting the whole public to come out on October 15th at Megan's Bay from October 14th.
October 14th.
14th on Megan's Bay from 12 p.m. to 5 p.m. Be there. Be there. Okay, so we are really rolling down to the last bit for On Point. Coming up, the Committee on Government Operations and Consumer Protection meeting, which I chair, will meet on October 25th this month. We have several bills, and remember, you can join us to look at the committee's process on our legislature's Facebook page by live stream through the legislature's website at legvi.org and on our YouTube. Also, I invite you to visit my website, subscribe and like and follow on Facebook and Instagram at Senator Carla Joseph. Our next broadcast is scheduled for October 17. Again, Attorney Payton, I would like to thank you so much for joining us here on Point. Until then, thanks for joining us on Point. Thank you all for listening in. And also, we want to thank my committee, the Joseph Action Committee, for all that they do. Do spread the word to your family and friends and neighbor to listen to On Point. On Point can be heard every other Tuesday here on the People's Station, WSTA Radio, from 1340 a.m. from 6 to 6:30 p.m. Right here, of course, on the WSTA radio station. I love saying that word, WSTA radio station, the People's Station. Tonight, we want to again thank Attorney Payton. Together, let's stay on point, Virgin Islands. Good night and God bless.